Stangibelisco here from the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of asymmetrical thought. I just got an email, as I mentioned in a previous video, about a whale called the Loneliest Whale, or the Loneliest Whale, and I Googled on that just because I was very curious as to what exactly this thing is. And after reading all of the posts and everything, I'm not sure that it couldn't conceivably be a hoax, but it could be almost anything. They assume that it's a whale because they've been tracking it for years and years and years. They meaning scientists. And it exhibits the behavior of something akin to a blue whale around Alaska and California and in general the eastern Pacific Ocean. It hums a note at 52 hertz. For those of you in Europe, that's just above the AC hum frequency of 50 hertz. For those of you in the United States, that's a little bit below the AC alternating current hum frequency of 60 hertz, or just slightly above the lowest note that a tuba can play. Travels thousands of miles in the ocean. They've been tracking it with sonar, but nobody's ever really seen it, and far from communicated with it and found out why it's never found a mate, why it's solitary all the time, or appears to be solitary all the time. And they've come to a lot of conclusions about this creature that to me seem based on very flimsy or non-existent scientific evidence, and yet they call themselves scientists. I think that just further underscores the division between certain types of intelligence, such as you might find in a whale or a dolphin, and human intelligence. Whether that's really intelligence or not is another question. But what is this thing really thinking? What do whales really think? Dolphins, other intelligent or supposedly intelligent creatures who don't have to use so much of their brain to manipulate their hands and mouths and eyelashes and other things like that, who don't have to have the coordination skills and complicated bodies that we humans are cursed with. All they have to do is swim around, and so they get to use all that extra gray matter for something else, presumably. Something else like what? And that question began to resurface again as I read the Google posts and the scientists, and it also underscored one of my favorite philosophies of the Indian mystic Osho, who noted that there's a big difference between loneliness and aloneness. Maybe more often called solitude. Is this solitary whale really lonely? Or is it saying something else with that hum? Maybe it's deaf. Maybe it just has deformed vocal cords. Or maybe it's trying to tell the universe in general something like, this planet is being destroyed by something. The ocean temperatures are rising. Weather patterns are changing. I sense something radically, radically wrong. And I've got to cry out and let the whole universe know this. Suppose that's what it's thinking. Rather than loneliness, that sounds more like one of the ultimate forms of social behavior, warning of the ultimate disaster. I often say maybe it's just going around between Alaska and California saying, stop pissing in my pool. Presumably to us humans, who are dumping all of the pollution that we're dumping into the oceans. Who knows what other creatures, other species, especially drastically different other species like whales and dolphins and orcas and even insects, who knows what they're thinking, what they feel, what their dreams and aspirations are if they have them, whether they can sense things that we humans long since lost the ability to do as we evolved into our ultimate conceited selves. That's the question of the day. What is this whale saying to the universe, if anything, with that 52 hertz emission? Different from all other whales, but so much the same. Stangibilisco, dreaming off. Until next time, so long.